The accountant Wesley is seen at the start of the film, who is seated in his office. And he is very upset. Because his female head is enough strange. She used to behave rudely to all. She used to say to her employees only to participate in her pleasure, and she had no care of the happiness of her employees. Now Wesley is worried for this cause that she is recalling his childhood memories. That his father divorced his mother when he came into this world. And his female friend betrayed him, uniting with his male friend. Now the scene is turned here and a man is seen, who hands over a bullet to a man to check either there is a mark on it or not. That lady does not notice any mark on it. Then someone targets that lady with his gun. Now they all people are after this man. He escapes from there. And he begins to fire on them while appearing from other side and breaking a glass. He receives a call when he is nearly to end all men. Someone blackmails him and asks him to have a look of your feet. When he notices his feet, then he observes a X mark there. Then someone fires his gun on him from a distance. It means someone had knowledge as this man will approach here and he has to target him. Here the scene turns and Wesley is again seen in the office. His office head again scolds him today. He becomes frustrated and hysterical. Even he is nearly to cry because he was fed up from all of these. He begins to take the medicine because of the panic attack. He visits a market in the evening where a girl named Fox appears there. And she tells him that your father has been shot down by someone. It is the incident of yesterday. And it is the story of that man which was seen before sometimes. Now Fox tells him that the same man also wants to make you dead. So take care yourself. Then Fox meets a suspicious man there. So Fox pushes Wesley immediately. That man runs from there before she kills him while firing. And the other things are targeted as the glass is broken there and Wesley flees in fear. Because he was really very coward. He had no boldness. Now Wesley is seen walking on the road. Now a man drives his bus speedily, and he begins to hit Wesley. But Fox appears there. Fox rescues Wesley while turning her car sharply. Now Wesley is seated in the car and they begin to escape from there. Now their chaser was in this intention to kill him. So Fox comes outside, breaking her car windshield. And she starts to fire. But that bullet is stuck in her car tire. Consequently, tire is punctured. Police also arrive there. They increase the speed of their car. Both police cars are stopped ahead. So they may stop them. But Fox's car drives ahead while jumping over the both police cars. Police notice a bus. When they check, moving inside, then there is no one. The man had run away who was after them. Now Fox takes Wesley to an aged man after a deliberation. Who is also the major character of this movie. First of all, he observes the gun of Wesley and says to him that there has been kept a dustbin before you. There are uncountable flies, so you will have to end them while firing. And you can do it. But Wesley is very afraid. And he says that I never held a gun. Then aged man says to him that, I will kill you if you did not obey me. So Wesley holds that gun, felling fear, and he begins to fire it on that dustbin. Fortunately, he targets all flies. The aged man tells Wesley, that your heart was beating fastest which was greater than 400. And it is not as such what you are thinking. It did not occur due to your fear. It is rather a reason that a hormone produced in your body, which made you stronger. A courage developed in you like your father that you fired the gun. Now Wesley points his gun on that aged man. And he begins to shoot him. Why are you irritating me? Why are you not letting me do what I am wanting to do? The aged man tells him, someone killed your father. And who knows that he may be among of us. But I have done a great job. I transferred the ownership of your father's all property with your name before it was owned to other. Wesley leaves this place. When he gets in the next morning, he thinks as it was his dream what happened. But a gun drops from his pocket as he goes to the lavatory. Then he understands that it was fact. He hides his gun. And he directly moves to ATM machine. Where he knows that his bank account is in millions. Being extremely excited, she moves to his office. Then he starts to check the computer to know what were the jobs of his father. How did he die? Her female head notices him of doing so. She starts to shout at him. Wesley also shouts at her at this time. He does not bear her single word. Then he goes to his friend with whom her female friend had betrayed him, involving with him. He leaves the office after throwing the file forcefully on his face. He was not feeling guilty. Because he did not want this job now. He observes, coming outside, that posters of Tag Wanted are stuck. Which belonged to him and Fox. And it was due to that incident which occurred in the market last night. Fox picks him up, reaching in her car. They move to the cotton mill where that aged man is present. Now aged man suggests Wesley that you need training. Because your life is at greater risk now. You will have to defend yourself. Now Fox takes Wesley to a man who punches on his face while tying him with a chair. And he badly injures his mouth and nose. They begin to bleed. Wesley is unable to defend himself because of being tied. Now Fox takes him to a butcher. It was time of next step of training. He injures Wesley too much, scaring him with a knife. But Wesley was also not getting ability to defend himself. His blood flows speedily after being injured. But Fox does still not let him go, and the time of third step of training starts. Fox brings him to such a man who recovers his wounds, putting him into the wax, so that the courage may develop in Wesley to bear the hurdles of next training. Afterwards, Fox leads Wesley to the gunfighter. But Wesley is also unable to defend himself here. So Fox loses her temper on this. And she starts to hit him badly. Next day, that aged man brings him in his father's room. And he advises him that you will have to learn everything devotedly. How will you learn if your heart and mind will not support you? Afterwards, they show the photo of his father to Wesley. Wesley feels something and he thinks that he has to be strong like his father. Now Wesley's training is started again. He starts to learn everything as how to cut the meat, how to defend himself, how to wrestle, how to fight with anyone, how to fire his gun on anyone, and many such things. In this way, many days are passed. Fox appears before Wesley and says to him that you will also have learnt from the firing that, how to shoot the spin bullet. I am before you and you have to shoot me. The bullet should be spun. It means, the bullets may not target me but goes at a distance while turning. Wesley is unable to do it. So Fox encourages him, you will have to do it. Encourage yourself now. So Wesley cross shoots after getting courage. Fortunately, bullets is spun. It happened due to Wesley's courage and struggle. This bullet is only touched with the hair of Fox as it is shot. And Fox does not get any harm. And that bullet directly shoots on Wesley's expected place. Now aged man reveals to him the real target. That they kill the devilish people. That man has a cotton mill. There is a hidden coded name in the clothes which they receive. To whom they had to target. Then they understand that name. Then they target that man stealthily, going there. And these names are sent from the underworld. The aged man gives Wesley a target name, which is Robert. Now Wesley is ordered that he has to kill him, going there. Wesley and Fox move to top floor of the building. Reaching its top floor, Wesley points his gun on that man. But he also takes it back thinking he may be guiltless. But Fox asks him, Wesley, why did you do it? You don't know, this man had burnt my family before 20 years in front of my eyes and I ran away. I became aggressive at that time. But I waited for this time when his name appears as a victim. And someone may kill him. So Wesley becomes emotional, hearing it. Because he recalls of his family. Then Fox and Wesley again go there. That man is sitting comfortably, keeping his arm behind his head. He did not know that he is going to meet his end now. So Wesley fires his gun on him at this time. Now the multi-missions are assigned to Wesley. Now Wesley continues to become proficient in this work. One day when Wesley is outside, then the same man comes to kill him who were chasing them. But Wesley flees. Then Wesley notices that someone is behind him. Wesley fires his gun on that man, but he had approached there to assist him. When Wesley's attention is diverted, that man named Mr. Cross shoots Wesley's shoulder who was behind him and chasing him, getting the chance of it. Wesley loses his consciousness. Then Fox and some of her men arrive here. He directly goes to that aged man and says that, Cross shoots me with the same bullet so that I may know that who invented it. Cross may come to meet me there when I visit there. I am going there. There may be a secret that I know, going there. So that aged man says, Fox will also accompany you. But Wesley leaves while forbidding. Then aged man says that Loom of Fate has given the name of Wesley at this time. And you will have to target him. Now Wesley notices Cross in the train while walking. So he enters the train but Fox remains outside. The battle starts between both of them. And they start to fire on each other. And their gun bullets are crashed with each other. Meanwhile, Fox also enters the train driving her. And train is derailed. It is bridge. Here Wesley is going to fall from the train. But Cross saves his life, catching his hand. So Wesley fires his gun on him without any thought. Then Cross tells him, Wesley, you were my son and I am your father. When Wesley comes in the train, then Fox says, yeah. He is your father. Wesley says to Fox, have you any embarrassment? Why did you choose me to kill my father? Fox says, Cross may kill the other attacker easily if we sent someone else. Cross did not kill you so you might kill him. If it has been noticed that Cross used to keep an eye on Wesley in the reality. Because he wanted to save him from the wicked people. When Fox is going to shoot her gun on Wesley here, then Wesley jumps into the water while shooting the bottom of train. He is in his neighbor's house as he wakes up. His neighbor tells him that your father had always kept an eye on you for this, because he wanted to prevent you from the wicked people. But Fox and that aged man selected you for their evil missions. Loom of Fate also declared the name of that old man, but he changed it. He turned himself against him when his father knew about it. That aged man wanted to kill your father from that time. Now this neighbor shows Wesley a small room which belongs to Wesley's father. Wesley finds many ticking bomb, weapons and other things there. He also gets a notebook in which the whole plan had been noted down. How does that aged man kill? All had been noted down by his father. So Wesley promises himself that he will accomplish the incomplete missions of his father. So he purchases the peanut butter according to the plan. And he frees some rates in the cotton mill of that aged man while adjusting bombs on them. Consequently, those rats begin to go to and fro. Then Wesley is succeeded to blast the ticking bomb in that cotton mill. Now Wesley goes to kill that aged man who is in the mill. He starts to fire his gun on the men, coming on his way. At last, he reaches that location where that aged man was present. But Fox and her companion point their guns on him before it. But Wesley shows him that piece of cloth, where that aged coded name was written. He reveals the whole reality. Then Fox is very astonished. Then aged man also speaks that my name had appeared on the cloth. But there were also your name Fox with Wesley and companions. But it was me who kept it secret. You may kill Wesley if you want. And keep it secret. Otherwise, as you all wish. Saying it, that old man leaves. But Fox feels guilty here. That she carried out the orders of a wrong man. She targets Wesley in the same turning style. That bullet targets his head while passing through the heads of his companions. As a result, they all three are killed here. Now Wesley leaves in search of that aged man. But Wesley does not find that aged man. Next day, it is seen that Wesley is seated in his office. And that aged man comes after him. He says to him, "Look at me. Your time approached." He has pointed his gun on him. But that man is not Wesley when he turns back. He has just disguised him. When that aged man observes that there is same X mark. Then a bullet targets him from a distance, crossing the head of that aged man. And he is killed there. Here Wesley and his father's incomplete mission is completed. And the movie also completes on this scene.